loving toward the little animal that, with another kiss, he bit off half his left ear. "You can mount now, my boy," he then said to Pinocchio. "Have no fear. That donkey was worried about something, but I have spoken to him, and now he seems quiet and reasonable." Pinocchio mounted, and the wagon started on its way, while the donkeys galloped along the stony road. Pinocchio fancied he heard a very quiet voice whispering to him, "Poor silly, you have done as you wished, but you are going to be a sorry boy before long." Pinocchio, greatly frightened, looked about him to see whence the words had come, but he saw no one. The donkeys galloped, the wagon rolled along smoothly, the boys slept, Lampwick snored like a dormouse, and the little fat man sang sleepily between his teeth. After a mile or so, Pinocchio again heard the same faint voice whispering, "Remember, little simpleton, boys who stop studying and turn their backs upon books and schools and teachers in order to give all their time to nonsense and pleasure, sooner or later come to grief. Oh, how well I know this, how well I can prove it to you. A day will come when you will weep bitterly, even as I am weeping now. But it will be too late." At these whispered words, Pinocchio grew more and more frightened. He jumped to the ground, ran up to the donkey on whose back he had been riding, and taking his nose in his hands, looked at him. Think how great was his surprise when he saw the donkey was weeping just like a boy. "Hey, Mr. Driver!" cried Pinocchio. "Do you know what strange thing is happening here? This donkey weeps." "Let him weep. When he gets married, he will have time to laugh." "Have you perhaps taught him to speak?" "No. He learned to mumble a few words when he lived for 3 years with a band of trained dogs." "Poor beast!" "Come, come," said the little man. "Do not lose time over a donkey that can weep. Mount quickly and let us go. The night is cool and the road is long." Pinocchio obeyed without another word. The wagon started again. Toward dawn the next morning they finally reached that much longed-for country, the land of toys. This great land was entirely different from any other place in the world. Its population, large though it was composed wholly of boys. The oldest were about 14 years of age, the youngest 8. In the street there was such a racket, such shouting, such blowing of trumpets, that it was deafening. Everywhere groups of boys were gathered together. Some played at marbles, at hopscotch, at ball. Others rode on bicycles or on wooden horses. Some played at blindman's buff, some at tag. Here a group played circus, another sang and recited. A few turned somersaults, others walked on their hands with their feet in the air. Generals in full uniform leading regiments of cardboard soldiers passed by. Laughter, shrieks, howls, catcalls, hand-clapping followed this parade. One boy made a noise like a hen, another like a rooster, and a third imitated a lion in his den. Altogether they created such a pandemonium that it would have been necessary for you to put cotton in your ears. These squares were filled with small wooden theaters, overflowing with boys from morning till night, and on the wall of the houses, written in charcoal, were words like these: "Hurrah for the land of toys! Down with arithmetic. No more school. As soon as they had set foot in that land, Pinocchio, Lampwick, and all the other boys who had travelled with them started out on a tour of investigation. They wandered everywhere. They looked into every nook and corner, house and theatre. They became everybody's friend. Who could be happier than they? What with entertainments and parties, the hours, the days, the weeks passed like lightning. "Oh, what a beautiful place this is," said Pinocchio each time that, by chance, he met his friend Lampwick. "Was I right or wrong?" answered Lampwick. "And to think that you did not want to come! To think that even yesterday that idea came into your head to return home to see your fairy and to let her start you studying again. If today you are free from pencils and books and schools, you owe it to me, to my advice, to my care. Do you admit it? Only true friends count, after all." "It's true, Lampwick, it's true. If today I am really a happy boy, it is all because of you. And to think that the teacher, when speaking of you, used to say, 'Do not go with that Lampwick. He is a bad companion, and some day he will lead you astray.'" "Poor teacher," answered Lampwick, nodding his head. "Indeed, I know how much he disliked me, and how he enjoyed speaking ill of me. But I am a generous person, and I gladly forgive him." "Well, you are a great soul," said Pinocchio, fondly embracing his friend. 5 months passed, and the boys continued playing and enjoying themselves from morning till night, without ever seeing a book or a desk or a school. But, my children, there came a morning when Pinocchio awoke and found a great surprise awaiting him, a surprise which made him feel very unhappy, as you shall see. End of chapter 31.